Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Lena and I'm just having a paint session, like a paint along, inspired totally by willowing.org, run by Tamara Laporte. And oh my god, she does such beautiful art. This is one of her, I think she calls it the owl number 3, and she just uploaded it, I think it was yesterday, to YouTube. And you know what, there's something so, I don't know, joyful about her artwork that really strike a note inside of me. So I always want to do a paint along when she's showing how, you know, her process videos, and it's just yeah, it's just a playful session because everything is so whimsical and a lot of watercolor. And I really love the way that she's incorporating her mixed media, because it's not like too heavy mixed media. It's markers, pencils, some acrylic splots or a little bit of gouache, and you know, new color too. It's not like she's venturing out into something like really crazy tool that I don't have or something. So I was thinking about just wanting to paint her owl number 2. The second owl she made got like a turned face like this one, but to the other side. And I love her teal and her purple and yellow together with the brown tones in that one. So yeah, I'm just gonna sit here and paint. And I hope that if you're painting along with the same owl, that would be perfect, because I intend to do this as like a live video, not like live streaming, but live art. So I'm not gonna have sped up time in this. So maybe we could pretend that we are sitting across the table from one another and just having fun. I'm going to paint with Pencil March fold out palette, and it's these chiclets of color, and they are just like super vibrant colors. This actually is painted only with this and then some acrylic markers. Looks like this for the mark making going on top. Whoops. And then I used some watercolor pencils to do the line work. But on the one that I'm going to do now, I'm also think that I would love to include some of the Dina Wakley scribble sticks for some line work, because I thought that might be fun. So yeah, that's the kind of supply that I'm working on. And then I'm working on an A3 watercolor pad. I have no clue what the measurement is, but like this is how it looks when a pencil lies on it, so you can kind of size-wise see that it is a bigger sheet, you could call it. Because I think that most of Willowing's art, you know, Tamara Laporte's artwork, is so wild and impulsive and splotchy that it deserves a bigger substrate than just a tiny 8x8 page in an art journal. It just deserves a big sheet of paper, so you really can like go crazy, right? So I sketched out the owl, and then I'm gonna mist my page. I have not watched her process video of this owl here because I wanted to record this, and it's like just confusing, you know, having to watch something, stop the camera, do the thing, you know. So I'm basically just gonna kind of wing it by just looking at her finished piece and then dream up what she might have done. But I really love that she has deposited a bunch of teal in the background. Have no idea in what order she did this, but I'm gonna do it as one of the first steps. Just gonna splotch in a bunch of teal. Really love this, and she has mixed it with splatters of purple. Isn't that just awesome? I really love that. Yeah, I am a fan of her whimsical style. I've been that for years. So it's not the first time that I am doing a rendition of her artwork. And I find that if I leave out her signature marks, like the butterfly, the stars, the dangle hearts, then I like my work better, if it makes sense. Like, it's like too much a copy of her work if I also do her mark making. But for sure, if you are painting along, do check out her video so you can see her wonderful mark making, because she's so good at doodling. I still yet have not ventured so much into doodling that I got like a signature doodle mark, if there is such a thing. I guess there is. But yeah, I think it takes a passion for mark making to find out your own style of mark making, and you probably need to do a little bit of study first, because I really love the artist who has built in a meaningful mark, like because it reminds them of something, or like a totem signature mark that, you know, that they gain inspiration from just by looking at the mark, if it makes sense. Okay, and now the fun part. I'm such a pig. Now I want to do the splatter, but I don't want to mess up the face of the owl, so I got this ceramic palette that I'm planning on just laying like this. Actually, I got 2 of those, so I'm just gonna lay them down, so at least that area will not be messed up. I think I should splatter with like a darker teal, maybe this one here. So I'm just making myself a wash down here on my palette. Can you see? Oh, you can just barely see my mixing tray. I saw on her latest upload that she took, I think it was a cotton ball, and then soaked it in water and then just dumped it, and it gave that, you know, whoosh of splats, like really dynamic splats. I don't have a cotton ball. I'm not sure if I can make a similar mark like that, but now would be like the perfect time to test that out, if you had the guts for that. I just think that I would soak up so much of my paper pad. I'm working on a paper pad that I think I don't want to put that much water down, because it might like buckle up my unused paper in the paper pad. I don't know, but for sure it has to be tested one day, right? This is a mess. But I basically think that she just have this sort of background. And now I'm thinking, because you know the drying shift on watercolor is, it always dries lighter than you think it does. So I think I'm gonna put in some saturated purple splotches in the wet paint, just to be sure that the purple color is represented. And then maybe I should do the same with the teal. And you cannot do anything wrong when you're working wet and wet, because it will just feather out. So it's not like if your brush tip is making a strange round mark to begin with, just don't be afraid. It will just feather out. Okay, that's about it. Okay, this is just me. I think I would like to try to dump in some white. Sometimes it looks funny when you dump in white paint. in a wet wash like this. Just also like to break up clusters of paint. You can like sometimes barely see it if it's like PV4 pigment, that's like a mixing white, but if you really want like a significant change, you could use like acrylic ink like Tamara Laporte also does, but I'm just gonna settle with that. At least I broke up, and it looks like the feathering out gets changed when you put in the white in between dots like that. I really like that effect. Okay, let's take off the palettes. It is just a ceramic tile. Nice to use as a just a small desk palette, you know. Putting it back in place. Yeah, that's the worst thing about having limited desk space. I need to put things back, you know, otherwise it just becomes so clutter. Okay, working with a Squirrel Raphael size 2, but it's got a super fat barrel, so I can actually do a bunch of just random mark making. I think I'm gonna mist it one more time. It's like it lost the water. And then I'm just gonna flicker on some random water, because then when I lay down a color, I will not know if it's gonna spread out when it bumps into some sort of a water puddle. And also because I just think it's super satisfying to make a mess. You know, like I love working wet and wet, because I think that's one of the ways that you can really explore the quality of a wet medium. Like for instance, watercolor is when you give it a chance to just, you know, like do its own thing. And I have to say that there is a lot of times where the ugly stage is saved by the randomness of how the watercolor has spread out. Meaning that as soon as I try to control a certain look or outcome, it just seems to interfere too much with the nature of watercolor. So sometimes it's better to just leave it and let it do, especially in the first wash like this. Just let it do what it wants, like a teenager. Okay, can we get like a greenish teal in? That would be so beautiful. There is a lot of waste of pigment when you work in this style with a super chunky brush like this. So that's why I chose this inexpensive pencil March palette, so I wouldn't feel sorry for all the pigments that I'm rinsing out in my rinsing jar. So keep that in mind if you want to work, you know, like in this style here, where you suddenly shift idea of what color you want to put down, so you sporadically quickly need to rinse out your brush. Or you could work with like a set of 3 brushes, like one constantly carrying purple colors, and then another one, the blue one, and then the third one like greenish tones if you've got like green tones. Like I just use this green mint right there, because we got a lot of supplies, right? So why shouldn't we have 3 or 4 brushes that we can use for this painting session here? But in that way you can just avoid rinsing out your brush, and then Just need to remember to pick up the right one. I don't work like that. I think I don't know, it's very intuitive what color you think you should transition into. Like now I feel I could have some yellow, and I got purple in my brush, so I'm gonna be like really thorough rinsing out that purple before dipping into the yellow. But it is like a playful, can't do anything wrong. Like I want the shoulder up there. Like Tamara don't have a wing carved out, but I would like to, so I think I want to carve it out. Blue, yes, blue. What about a dark one, like this one right here? Yeah, I like that. And then maybe I can add the dark further down here to get that arch, curved arch. It would be likable. Maybe I should have some dark values. I'm just gonna mix in some black into this puddle here, just to get the back of the wool. Hey, I can use that dark for the shading that this wing will cast. Yeah. Oh my god, is that one of my hairs? For once, it's not the cat hair to blame, it's one of my own. That was nasty. It's gone. I think that I maybe could work on the beak soon. I'm just gonna lay in that. I got dark on my brush, so I wanna utilize it. Okay, enough about that. I love that mint green. I think I'm gonna pull it up even further. There was this pan here, and this is where all the convenient pans really come in play. Like this, this is why we bought all the 60 color palette because it makes it so easy. It's like a nice flow when you're doing stuff like this. You can just jump into a pre-mixed color. You don't have to sit and mix it yourself. So that's why I really am a fan of these multicolored, inexpensive kits palette that just give you this playful opportunity. Oh my god, I feel orange. I want to put in some orange. Should or shouldn't I? Oh, okay, maybe I should wait with the orange and just see if I can get close to what Willowing got on her artwork before I start improvising with an orange. But at least I could, oh, this green is so beautiful. I'm gonna take this one here. Let me test it up here. Oh yeah, that is so beautiful, like subtle. Maybe we can have some of the green here. Yeah, but this is like the first layer, you could call it. And now I need to somehow dirty up this chest area here, because it's not supposed to be white. So I think I'm just gonna maybe a little bit of purple up there. Yeah, super, super wet substrate. What about up here? Could be a lot of orange, orange. And once again, orange is making mud together with purple, so I was just really rinsing off that brush. Oh my god, don't you just love that? You know, that spark of orange next to the purple? Yummy! Oh, the orange is gonna be like brown up there. Can you see that? So, I'm not gonna put more in the forehead. But I definitely want some orange. I almost feel that I've blocked myself in with a lot of colors. Yeah, maybe it was time to. I still got that orange residue on my brush, so I'm just gonna make it yellow and then see if I can make it fade into some yellow tone. Unlikable here. And now I'm just gonna use water to thin out this yellow. What I'm just aiming for is to kill the white, because I don't want white right there. So maybe I should mix up a gray, like a super light gray. And start just killing white areas, because white is like my highlight color, so I don't want like super white and then give myself like competing highlights. So it's best that they are like toned down somehow in a muted. This would be perfect. And that area up there, oh, she's got that brown burnt sienna. Should we go for it? Yeah, totally. Let me load up. Is it this one or this one? I think maybe more this one here. Surprise, burnt sienna right there. That is just really awesome. Let's put him elsewhere here, maybe. I think I actually want it darker, like it's too orangey, right? Here, oh my god, imagine putting in chrome oxide from Core. A wet dream come true. Like, that was like really, like that burnt orange, or yeah, like really, what's the name of it? I don't think that it's called chrome oxide. It's called, now the name escapes me. I got a transparent burnt chrome. Is it chrome? It can't be. Transparent burnt. I want to put in the word oxide. Okay, in the name totally escaped me. I forgot what it's called. Isn't it the best when people call out a color and then they can't remember the correct name of it? Typical me. But yeah, it's a core color from Core, Q-O-R paint brand. That's just really likable, like a warm, rusty brown that would be awesome to have in this area right there. Now I'm thinking about I should put in the eyes, the color for the eyes, and hopefully it will like bleed out a little bit, because that would be, I wouldn't mind that, you know, if it's kind of bled out. We're gonna have like the orange color in the eye, so I'm just trying with a smaller brush to hit the edges of the eyes, and then see if watercolor wants to play today and then help me blend it out into the yellow. And if I feel that that's not gonna happen, I can come in with a wet brush and help it along. Just kind of softened up the area, but I kind of like that. Maybe it could be like more like this. Yeah, that would be like super nice, I think. Okay, now comes the boring part. It needs to dry up. But before it does, I think we have a lot of nice things here that it could be fun to splatter in a little bit of white before it dries up completely. I don't know how wet I can get this white. I just got like two areas that are like really dark, you know, so putting in the white now in the drying process may break it up a little bit, I feel. So, and it's not gonna hurt. It's not gonna be like white dots. It's just gonna break up some of the concentrated dark. Okay, I would let this first coat right here dry up before I work further on this. So, but before I do so, I'm keep changing my mind. I want to lift off the highlight. Just a little bit there on the beak, just to help myself later on. Okay, it's kind of dry now. And now it has completely dried up, and notice how pushed back all the colors are. In wet state they were like super vibrant and potent, and now they're just pushed back. Remember that I took a dirty brush and then tried to mix in a light gray to push back the white in this area here. Look, when I take a piece of white paper next to it, you can really tell that. We just look at this, it looks white, but now you can see that whatever highlight I'm gonna use in white is gonna really stand out, and that's the reason behind that drill. It's a good tip. I like to temper the white areas with like a light ochre if you want it like warm and yellowish, or just gray it down with some sort of a muted warm gray tone. Okay, now we are going to work with putting back the vibrancy of the colors. So I put to sleep my big squirrel fat barrel brush and picking up a slightly, it's still a round brush. Let's see, what does it say? Size, okay, it says size 10. I would say it's a size 8 or something. And then a pointer. And I'm working with these two brushes to get variations in my mark making. So I think that's important when you have to cover a big area like this, that you don't have the same brush over and over again. Let me just demonstrate what a difference it makes. Like, this is the stroke I can get with this one. Notice how wide it can get, and it's like undefined in the tip of it. Sorry. And this is the stroke I can get with this one. I can like tap, tap, tap. There's a big difference between those two. So to avoid working with the same brush throughout my whole mark making process, I think it's important to use two different kinds of brushes. You know what, you can go so crazy in this area right here with where we are at the picture, at the painting. You could, like, if you have a bunch of specialty brushes, I don't know what not, like I'm frantically digging in my stash to see what can I dig out. I'm not a huge user of specialty brushes because I'm stupid. I simply just forget that they're there. Like Deerfoot Stippler, awesome. I rarely use it because I get caught up in the moment. You know, I just get sucked into the painting session that I forget about these things. But I would like to share it with you guys because maybe you're not as quickly interrupted as I am, so maybe you can compose yourself when you're mark making and remember those things. I like to start out with the brush that makes the widest marks, because as you can imagine, this smaller brush can come on top of this wider mark. So I'm basically going to work myself into a layer that can be topped once more with a more skinnier brush. Okay, enough of talking. What I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna go in these areas that I simply think scream like need potency, like need to be brushed up with a stronger color. And it's like a very intuitive process still, where you I don't know, you're just eyeballing what you think. Now I'm gonna take this small brush because I can see that the eyes could be brushed up. And this is my most likable face because the wild underpainting is already done and the paper is dry, so this is where the mixed media can come in play, you know, with markers and scribble sticks and all those fun things. So I think I'm gonna take a red color to darken up this eye here, just to get a little bit of variation from the first eye. But I find that it's super playful just to sit and listen to something like a podcast or whatever beats your drum, and then you immediately get super relaxed and it comes more natural for you to slowly sit and build up these marks here. And when you're watching speed painting on YouTube, when it's having this process, it is like a painting process, right? It makes it look like they are having like a master plan, like they know exactly, like there I should have a highlight that's yellow and here I should go like blah blah blah, you know. But I honestly think that what's going on behind the camera in those sped up videos is that the person is actually sitting just chilling, listening to favorite music or a podcast and then really zoning out, because that's the kind of state of mind I think is the most enjoyable. Okay, so I was a cute girl and kind of looked up what it was that I was talking about with the core paint, and it's a red iron oxide. Did I say it right? Let me see again. Yes, red iron oxide. Transparent red iron oxide was the name. And I found it while we had the hysterical phase where every one of us wanted the yellow. Oh my god, I did it again. I know the paint in my head. Is it PY49? But I don't know what it's called. What was it? Quinacridone gold. Yes, Quin gold. Remember everybody going crazy for the Quin gold, and then I stumbled over the browner version, more like oxidated, burnt oranges, and fell in love with those. Why am I talking about that? Because I really think it would be beautiful to have it right there. So, to keep it real, if I was just sitting here painting for myself and not doing a video, I totally would levitate my fat behind from my chair and go get that palette and get that single color in. And just be satisfied. But I'm keeping it to this Pencil March palette for the sake of this stream. Okay, back to this. I'm putting in the warmer yellowish tones first because I'm procrastinating the more like lavender and bluish tones, I guess. But let's hit that. Let's start out that party. I have a tendency to overdo it in this phase here, so that's why I'm procrastinating a little bit. And now I'm super aware that I'm streaming, so I wouldn't be surprised if I made, you know, the mistake of overdoing it once again. Because I really feel that I am more freed up when I am just sitting by myself listening to music. But here I feel that I need to put words to my process. So I'm just gonna muck it up a little bit. Maybe I should have done a little bit more saturated up here. Is it important to get this done in a special way? I don't think so. I think what Willow is loving is if we just have a bundle of joy when we sit and do these paintings here. And whether it looks like her finished piece or not, I don't really think that she cares, because she's like, she loves art, you know, like she's the lover of color and art. So don't be too hard on yourself looking at her picture or any other reference painting and thinking like, mine does not look like the picture. What's wrong with the screen? Don't get discouraged, because this mark making process here is such a random process that if you had to follow every single brushstroke that people are putting in a process like this, it will drive you mad. So just go with the feeling, like, I like that mint, I don't want it to disappear. That's how you should think. Like, look at the colors, like which color do you think is just really likable and you don't want it to disappear, so you need to go in and reinforce it. So I really think there's something likable about the mint green. I'm going in and reinforcing it. I also think that I could reinforce it up in the forehead. And if you don't like your mark making, just take some water and whisk it out a little bit. So it just becomes some sort of a glaze. Then you can transform a strange mark into a glaze instead. I don't like that she's had this curvature on her painting, so I'm not gonna have that. So let's work on the blue colors. That's an ultramarine. I like that, you know, that look of the ultramarine. I'm gonna be a little bit more sporadic with the teal in this area. And then I also feel that you can use different kind of blues. Like now I'm taking a much deeper blue than the ultramarine that I used for the shoulder part. I'm just gonna build that in because I want that arch. I want the, and down here I think it looks horrible, so I need to cover this up somehow. I don't know what went on down here, but it's not likable, you could say. So what I would do in a situation here where I think it's gonna be tough to beat that strange color right there, I would work with the tone. Like I would think, like if I added red to this, it would not be the worst thing you can do, but if I added like blue to it, that's too complementary. So even though that I have not really worked with red elsewhere here, I am gonna plot in some red to remove distraction from that brown glob that I have going on there. And then maybe put red elsewhere on top of the drawing so that you're kind of pulling the color upwards. So up here you could have like just a red stroke. And now I got 3 areas where I have a red stroke, so that's enough for me to, you know, I just needed a bailout plan for that very brown looking like a poo, you know, poo color. And now this is getting too strange for me, so I'm just gonna go on top of that super dark with a much lighter color, hoping that it will somehow break it back into a brighter color. But notice how slow I paint in this process here, and it's because I feel that you are thinking much more. There's much more thought process. It's like less impulsive. Still fun, still super fun, just less impulsive. Maybe I could have like some red. I think I need some what was it, ultramarine here on the wings. But for what it's worth, if you really dislike what you have made, you know, in this second coat here, because you find it so splotchy and you're like, it's so far from what I thought it would look like. And mister is a good bailout. Like if you take your spray bottle and mist, you will dilute some of the edges, the hard edges from these. But I kind of like the hard edges. I honestly think it just brings something feathery looking to our painting. But I want it to be more purple up here. I think that's a likable color. I also like that bright purple. Yeah. I think it could have like a strong question is just, is it really this one, this color here? Yeah, that would be nice. Maybe introduce that up here also. But I think that I am slowly getting ready to put in the whiskers around the beak and everything. So I'm gonna change my brush to the one that makes like smaller marks somehow. And then I'm gonna decide that like a Prussian bluish color could be the end of the whiskers, and I am deviating from her reference picture, not a lot, but a little bit when it comes to this face up here. I totally get that you could have like striations of hair going this way here, like the direction of feathers, if that's a word. And then maybe I could use like she does a light blue around this area here. And then I need to work on this ending. There's like and this is where I feel that, oh my god, I wish that I knew how to paint animals. That would be like super handy. But I don't. So I just have to work with what I have in my toolbox. In my toolbox. And what I have is a feeling that it could be like an eyelid. Don't know if an owl actually got that. But now mine does. A little eyelid there. And now let's try and put in some dark values in the eyes. And I'm going like completely dark, like 100% black. I'm not even mixing it up with a blue tone to get like a Prussian-ish Prussian. And it's like a round curve, and for some reason round shapes falls more natural in my hand if I can, like a continuation of my own wrist. So I'm flipping the page upside down. I'm putting in the highlight at the very end, so I'm not worried about leaving white for the highlight in the eyes. I'm mostly interested in having a line that would kind of feather out. So I'm just gonna use up the dark that's in my brush before I rinse it out. Always strange to paint upside down, but sometimes you need to. What I meant about feathering out was that I would love if this paper was wet underneath this black line here, so that it would give that little bit grungy. Okay, looking so strong now where he came to life like that. I think we should really give him like old man flickered crazy Einstein ears right there. Love how this black stressed out something like even a whimsical painting like this need that dark value sometimes. Okay, I'm tempted to come in with some light green colors, which is a little bit crazy, but yeah, it needs it. Question is just which one. This one, so really apple green. And I can see that Tamara Laporte also have some green up here. So I'm still trying to be faithful to the reference picture. Okay. I think now would be a good time to let it dry and rest up. Okay. I'm getting close to the point where I can go into the mixed media part with the markers, the crayons, the color pencils. But before doing so, I want to bring back some of the white that I lost in this painting here. And I am turning towards gouache because, I don't know, it's just super opaque. I like it better than acrylic because I can just wash it off. With water, there's something really liberating about just being able to take away splatter and whatnot with just plain water. But it's a matter of habit. Like if you really love acrylic, then you probably would pick acrylic for this face right here. And now you will notice that our white are like really standing out because we were so clever to dull back our whiteness of the paper. So it's gonna come in handy. You can like really tell you're making a difference with these brush strokes here. I have changed to a different brush that can give me like a whisk because there is direction to the feathers in the beak, for instance, and up here on the eyebrow, and I will just try and follow those directions. And it's going to be like a constant battle between the consistency of the gouache, how watered down it is compared to what brushstroke you can get. So it's just a trial and error, you know, like try, just do your best to get like a watered down version so you can make thin strokes and not get like one combined puddle of white paint. Meaning that if this brush here was like loaded with really wet paint, you'll get like one cluster of white and not these dry brushed linear strokes. I like the dry brushed if I can get the effect. I don't always get it because it is what I said, a thing going on in the gouache, you know, how watered down it is. If it allows you to get dry brushing, I can't even talk. Notice how I like find it like super difficult to express myself because I'm believe it or not, I'm actually thinking right now. I'm thinking about where I want highlights. I've always respected highlights. Like, don't overdo them because then they lose their luster. But never underestimate the value of putting back the white on your painting. Like, it's really powerful to have some white areas where sometimes the eyes can rest upon it. I have no clue what to do with this chest area here. You know, mine is a little bit different than Tamara's. But I can see on the pencil stroke that she also has grabbed the Sharpie for some of this process where you're putting back the white. You know, you can recognize those linear strokes. So that could be a cool idea too. Especially up here where it looks like my my white is getting soaked up by the underpainting, so it doesn't really stay white when it dries up. And that's like the most annoying thing in the whole world. You know, like already blocked in one area and then you work on a different area and then you return to that area and then all the white is gone, baby. So if you're working with acrylic, the more layers you put on of acrylic, let's say from a Sharpie or a Posca, the more you build up an acrylic surface on your paper, so the more likely your white highlight will eventually stay white, because the acrylic would work like an acrylic on the painting would work like a barrier between the water soluble pigments underneath it that's contaminating it. Okay, I feel that I have gotten some white values in at the places where I think they could make a difference. So I think now I would with the gouache make a white highlight for the eye. Okay, I'm really weighting down this brush here. Just put it there. So I'm just looking for a small brush, like this one here. I want to make a different highlight than she's got, because I like those round cartoonish dots. Instead of the streak, like she has, like, you know, like a whisked out strokes, but I kind of like the dots better, so I'm just gonna stick to that. And then I want that highlight right there. Oh man, guys, should we do like a crazy white splatter now? Okay, we're gonna wait with that, but I really would love to end off this whole drawing by having some white splatter going on, but we're gonna just wait with that. Okay, so now at this stage here, I will retouch with colored pencil some of the details that sort of got lost after doing the watercolor wash. And it's basically just shapes of feathers. Maybe that was wrong. So I'm just trying to put back in these feathered shapes here. I can barely see them myself, so I feel it's a shame that they got lost, because I really like them as these small indications of, you know, a feather. And I'm just switching between pencil colors so I get a good variation. Okay, I bet that you cannot really tell on the camera that I'm doing this, but I can visually see the line work up close, and I think they do make a difference. It's just a cute little embellishment. Let's see what else. And since they're not that nice visual, is it called that? You can't like tell that they're there. I can be a little bit sloppy drawing them in, you know, work quick. If you want the line work to show up, you could use complementary pencil colors. So if you have like a blue splotch, you can use like an orange colored pencil on top. Let me just illustrate that by here. It's like a blue feather, and then if I use an orange, it kind of pops and shows up. And if you have like a purple, you could go and get a yellow. It just depends on how much you want this to show up. I totally understand if you want it to show up because you're making an effort in putting it in, if you know what I mean. Okay, I think that's actually enough. And then I think up here in the head, I would like to put back the mark making up here, because the owl had that kind of a pattern. Oh, maybe that can save me down here, because I don't really know what to do in this chest area here. You know, Willow, she's got these line work, but I kind of don't like that line work, so I just immediately knew that, oh, I need to do something else instead. Maybe I can do some tiny marks with my colored pencil instead. Yeah, I think that helped a bunch. I'm just trying to use that same color elsewhere, so it's kind of natural that it shows up as part of the owl's mark making. I can even just take a leaf shape, or a feather shape, I'm sorry. A leaf, what am I talking about? Okay, I think I need some, maybe, is it purple that I need? Not that purple. Maybe a darker purple. Yes, this one. Okay, and when that's in, okay, I'm really excited about the next step, which is the Gina Weekly scribble sticks. Okay, I would take scribble sticks and try and make line work. Like Tamara have this tealish going down the back. Feels good to have a crayon in your hand. Hey, you can make those, what do they look like? You know, the, okay, I need to think. Okay, let's try with, you know, there is these lines. Did you see them? I'll try and make them in another color. Always nice with birds to have that sort of line work. Oh man, I really need to get over this brown area here. That is not a likable area. But what I want to do with these scribble sticks are just some strange things like dots, circles. I want to outline this with like an orange. Try not to use like a straight line because it is a packed chest of feathers. So, and now I can actually maybe get some line work up here. Maybe it should be this one. And then maybe I could actually get in that direction of the beard. Because it is like, there is like this beard going on. Oh, this should be a different color, maybe even purple. Not purple, I'm sorry, pink. Yeah, this is so, I mean, what more fun can you have than this? I mean, this is really the fun part. I wish that I had like a purple color. And these scribble sticks, how can she not have made like just a generic purple? Maybe I don't have it. I mean, maybe she made it, but I just lost the stick. Could be very likely. Okay, I cannot stop this. This is just too much fun, but I really need to give it a break now before I'm overdoing it. Okay, step away from the crayons. And now for the acrylic markers. I'm cheering. Okay, guys, these are such fun. I mean, these right here are back of fun. I'm just telling you. First, you have to get them started. But once they're going, they are just, I mean, I don't even know what to say. It's just a deal breaker when it comes to mark making, that you can venture into an acrylic paint coming out in a soft tip and just laying there, you know, like and because it's so thick what comes out, I rarely think it's necessary to top it with additional layers to make sure that it's still vibrant. You know, like it's not like a white highlight where you feel you have to come back and then do more to make it stand out. I think these just deposit such a thick coat or mark that it just stays put. I like it a lot. I like it so much that there is this danger of overdoing it. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Let's try and just go easy, Lena. Don't overdo it. I love the sound also, like it's scratchy. And I love how you can change the value of, okay, let's focus on this nasty brown area here, right? You can totally come in and change the, when you glance at it, change the value of what you think you're seeing. Look, if you just bring in some, and that was just 2 pens, and already now I think the overall I'm looking for an English word. The overall impression of this area here is no longer brown, and it only took like 3 colors of this pen right here. So hooray for that. Oh, why did I have to put that yellow up there? Now I need to continue. That might have been a little bit too yellow. What I also like is the variation of color, and all of them in this light kind of pastel. So I think the pastel is what transformed this owl to an even more whimsical creature. Like if you have the guts to really go in using those pastels, it can help you make your willow owl a ton more whimsical, just because of the nature of these bright colors. Okay, the black one I think I could utilize for the round of the eyes. I need to flip the paper for that. I'm not sure how dark it's gonna dry up, but so far it looks more black than the watercolor that I used, so that's nice. Okay, and I totally busted the white pen already, so it's not working as nice as when I just bought it. I've just been too rough on this poor pen. I was just so excited that it works sporadically. So what you're seeing this white pen do right here is not as rough as when I first bought it and tried it out. It was more like refined in the tip. Now it's just worn down. But hey, even a blunt stroke got value, I think. Okay, what to do here? We should have like it's like still covered with feathers or something. Yeah, now you can just picture how abused this pen has been. Poor pen, poor pen. Can we have like a minute's silence for this white marker pen here? Okay, I think we could have like we are so close to be finished. I mean, I think we probably are finished now, except that I would like some dark blue up here to stress out the shoulder. That was not dark. Okay, this pen is not as dark as my Prussian blue, so maybe we are there with the shoulder. Oh, do I have that greenish? Is it this one? Did I already use this one? No, I don't think so. Oh, this is beautiful. Ah, dots. Should we try with dots up here? I don't know. It's like I need to go in and refine the ending of the beard. Do I have a gray pencil? I think this one. And then maybe, I think the gray can help me to stress out the direction of what's going on up near the beak with the feathers. So I see that Willow, she's got like this round shape mark making up here. Perfect for my little pen here. So I'm just gonna do the same. I honestly think that I am about finished. I'm basically just I don't know, having a good time, I guess, with these pens now. Doo-doo-doo. Yeah, I should somebody stop me. I should stop now. I feel I'm totally overworking it now. But I think you get the idea of how how captivating this crazy process is. As soon as you put it into sections, where first you do the watercolor, then you do the bring back the white, then you take your colored pencils, and then before you know it, you're sitting with your acrylic markers, and then voila, you have a lot on your page that collectively give the impression of an owl. So yeah, it's just a bag of fun. I should end this now so that it won't be like the terribly long, probably already too late, terribly long upload. But thank you so much for, if you watched from the start to the finish, you're a trooper. Thank you so much for watching my videos. It really means a lot. It's very motivating. So if I could ask for more, it would be if you kindly would leave a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. So I wish you a nice day. Stop me, stop me. Can you see how you constantly can find an area like where you can just flicker with your pencil? Like imagine you had this in front of you when you were talking on the phone, and you just go on and on. Okay, enough said. Let me lift it up to the camera. Only bad thing about working in such a big substrate is that it's difficult to show it all at once on the camera. But there it is. Okay, bye for now. Thank you so much. Hi.